Speed Track, and welcome to my channel and welcome to my website. My name is Daryl, and this is Programming in Any Language. The website is www.black-duck.com. It's where you'll find all my videos organized in a logical order. And this is the Speed Track. The Speed Track is a series of short videos designed to get you to create a meaningful application very quickly. Last time, we obtained the language. We downloaded and installed Visual Studio with the language C#. Now that we have a language that we can use to write our application, it's time to plan our project. Planning is essential. It provides direction. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be long. It just needs to be something we can use to sort of track what you are going to build. This next video shows how simple it can be. I'll be using a flowcharting program to sketch my plan, but this can be just as easily done on a scrap of paper. In fact, back in the old COBOL days, it had to be done on a sheet of paper. We didn't have programs that would do this kind of thing. Take a look. Okay, once we've got that basic idea of what we want to do with our project, we can kind of sort of form together. And we can do it right on the screen and start working in Visual Studio, or we can do it on paper first. And it's a good idea to kind of get an alignment down on paper, exactly what we want to do. We can use the same flowchart tools if we want to kind of put things together. We can kind of make these buttons if we want. Or maybe we'll do something like this as buttons. This looks like a better button. We can maybe even shrink it down a little bit. In fact, we can shrink it down by lowering it a little bit, maybe 180, maybe even a little less. But we can put something down here, and we can kind of put down, let's say this is going to be the add button. So we'll make add on this particular thing here. Then we'll make a copy of it. We're going to have a bunch of these buttons. If you looked on our past screen, we had edit, delete, all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to kind of put a bunch of these down here. So we'll just kind of put a bunch down and then lay them in place, and we can change their names and do whatever we want with them in a bit. We'll kind of adjust them, get it roughly, put them in place where they look about the same. Go in there and change the data on them. We'd like maybe an edit button. We certainly like a delete button. We'd like save and load. Load. And we're going to need an exit. Play that right here. Oh, what else we need? How about a clear button? I would like a clear button as well. So let's pop one more in here and make this one clear. This will clear off our database completely. Kind of move these around where we'd like to maybe have them. In a structure like this. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be something about what you're going to try and do here. You get an idea of what's happening. So you kind of get it in place so that when you're messing with this, you kind of got a plan that you can kind of see, well, I'm trying to approximate what I've got right here. We're also going to need an update and a cancel button, because if we do the edit, we're going to be going in there and doing an update or a cancel. So we'll do a couple more of these guys real quickly, and we'll lay this one, we'll make this one the cancel button. And we'll make this one the update button. So we make a change to it. Where are we going to put these guys? Well, it's nice to always put them in let's see, can we put this one on top of the other? No, we can do it like this. We'll kind of lay it here. The idea is we got this in place, and I can kind of pop this on top of one of the others. So these things, what's going to happen is we'd like these buttons to disappear and the cancel and update appear when edit is pressed. That's something we'll work with there later. We're also going to want some other things on here. We'd like some, we'd like to have the record count, so we can use the text box right now. We'll bring up our text box here, or our text. Right here, and we would like to put in, say, record count. Or something like that. Move it up here someplace. And this would be an empty box. What I'm going to do, instead of using a text box for this, I think what I'll use is a basic box here like this process thing, and lay it in here with this guy like this, and then shrink it down a little bit so it's a little smaller. It looks kind of like a text box or a label that we might want to work with. So that would put this in place here. We're going to want something like this as well. Down in here, we're going to want to be able to enter some data in here. And we might want to put this in here and call it enter data. And leave it like that. And maybe plop it up here someplace. And then we'd like, I'm going to get rid of this one completely. I don't think we need it anymore. But we're going to take this process box and kind of simulate what might be a list box. And we'll make it very large and bring it down a little bit. And this will contain our data. So basically our data goes, this will be our, we can name it here, or we can just leave it like this as a list box. This kind of gives us a semblance of what it's going to look like. Maybe one more text box up here. We'll pop that thing way up here and we'll call this the, make it a title, the anything database. And we'll stretch it out. And maybe even change this font a little bit so it looks a little bigger. Here we go. Right here, we'll make it, let's say we'll make it about 15 and make it bold. So it kind of stands out. Then we've got our title sequence sitting up there like that. So this gives us kind of a semblance of what it might look like when we're going to actually create this thing. So we can put this on the side and then use this when actually building our form for the first time. It kind of gives us an idea of what we're going to do. It's going to save us a ton of time with trying to remember all this or look at the past screen where we knew what we were going to do. But now we've got kind of a plan on how we want to structure this thing. And we do want to put these things in place before we actually create our project. That's essentially it. As you can see behind me, we now have something to follow. It doesn't have to be the prettiest thing on the block. It just has to be a guideline. Heck, when we finish our application, this plan can be tossed away. It's temporary. In fact, we'll probably improve upon it as we build the app. In the next video, we'll take a look at integrated development environment. That's the tool we'll use to actually build our application. Programmers tend to call it the IDE instead of integrated development environment. A lot of words there. It's your workbench. I'll see you in the next video where we'll learn how to use that workbench. See you next time. Thanks for watching. If you get a chance, please subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.